one of the features about that I didn't know about coming into Incorta was they can do bi-directional data feeds, right? And it also has what they call blueprints, which hooks and canned reports directly in other systems. So one of the things we're looking at is doing possibly looking at getting Workday, right? We're looking at it for forecast and budget, and the built-in capability with Incorta, since it already works very well natively with Workday, you know, where it would have probably taken us a month and a half to do all this integration between our source systems and Workday to get the financial data. You know, it's going to be a pretty small effort now, right? Because we're basically going to be setting as a data destination. We already have all the data, all of our financial data inside of Oracle, or inside of Incorta from Oracle. We're getting it every 15 minutes. So, and we're taking that and we're looking at that and saying, hey, if we can do this here, we can do this other places, because we have lots of integrations with different systems, third-party systems, our own internal systems, and being able to move that data in and out. I mean, it's usually a much larger effort than what it has been by moving to Incorta, right? And you know, not only that, if you look at the other tools, you know, that there's an SDK that we've looked into doing now, where we can, you know, because my background's in development, so you know, that was the first thing I wanted to look at, see what else can I do with it? How can I take it further? And, you know, with the SDK, if you're a React developer, you know, you can basically build a miniature application right inside of Incorta, and we can now do CRUD events directly on Incorta data. So we can use Incorta to pull our data from our source systems. And then we're building a layer on top of that will let us, you know, one of our use cases is, you know, our finance team wants to pass back notes and stuff about month end, right? So we let them go directly into Incorta now, instead of having to go to another system and put their note and share the note back and forth, and they can just jot that directly in Incorta without having to go to any other system. So just the capabilities and the way it's changing the way we're doing things is amazing.
Yeah, I know, as you mentioned here, the kind of that new architecture of both being able to feed everything in, as well as, you know, feed it back through, kind of create that central source of truth. And what that's really doing is creating answering those business questions, right? It's no longer a tech question. It's now you know, what is the business question that we are truly answering, right?
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting too, because those questions are, as we're showing people the data and how it comes together, new questions that we didn't ever think about are starting to be asked. And so, yeah, it's really changing the culture of our company for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we're being asked questions by people who've never asked us questions before, right? And you know, we're really getting into a mentality where we're really getting a lot of cross collaboration and things that we just really haven't had at that level before. And it's really exciting to see kind of the transformation that we made such a short amount of time, because I mean, we've only been doing this since January, you know, and we talk about turning it on and setting up those blueprints like I was talking about for Blackline. You know, they had that for Oracle EBS, and within our first week we had about a 200 something canned reports for Oracle just out of the box, you know, and we were getting data every 15 minutes within a week, you know, and that was, you know, working with Incorta and TechWish, and really, you know, and they've been extremely helpful as well, getting everything on board. You know, we have daily meetings with them. They're very customer focused, so that's been extremely refreshing. You know, I've worked with a lot of vendors, and a lot of them have really good sales pitches, right? And this is honestly, this is probably the first time where it's been better than the